couldn't get showered and stuff before you came to work, or
That's all right. I'm a Cowboys fan today.
or else maybe you thought that they were going to give out free cheese and stuff today, so you'd go play the part and stand in line.
Well, I figured I'd do my one part. My one day I can dress up, and figured I'd be a Cowboys fan today because they don't really have any reason to get up or get ready for anything.
Yeah,
nothing to look forward to.
Dress like a loser, be a loser.
Yep. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the state of Nebraska football, and I guess what can be done or what needs to be done potentially. And there was a really good article out there that I read, and I sent it to Fred to read too, so we could kind of see where we're both coming from. And it brought up some really good points. It goes back to when, basically when Osborne left. We've been in a state of turmoil since. And firing Solich didn't help it. Firing Callahan didn't help it at all. And I don't think that if we fire Pelini that it's going to fix everything that's wrong. And it brought up some really good points about why that is, why firing these coaches aren't helping anything to change. And it kind of brought the point up where it all starts with the university and their, I guess, branding and marketing as a whole. And it brought up Oregon as an example. Before, what would it be, maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years ago, you hadn't even heard of Oregon football.
Oregon never was a powerhouse. In the Pac-10, it was always USC, UCLA.
Yeah. You never heard about Oregon, and all of a sudden, here they go and they partner with Nike. And
every week they have a different colored helmet.
Yeah.
Every week they have a different theme. Every week they have different color schemes. Last week they had a bright green metallic helmet with duck feathers on it.
Yeah. But anyways, they get all these big marketing firms to come out and make good quality videos for them, good publicity, good marketing. They basically totally rebranded Oregon football, and to a lesser extent the other sports there, because I know they got a new basketball arena and stuff too. But they kind of restarted the whole football program from a base standpoint of the marketing and the branding of it, and they've built it into a perennial powerhouse. I mean, granted, they haven't won a national title, but they're there year in, year out.
They're not far from it this year. I think they're ranked second in the BCS standings.
And that was one thing that this article brought up was Nebraska is so steeped in tradition, which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with tradition, nothing with holding on to what was in the past. But at the same time, the market you're trying to bring in, there's 17, 18-year-old kids who weren't even born the last time Nebraska football was relevant, or they were infants. So, I mean, do you want to bring them into, quote-unquote, a museum, or do you want to bring them into something that they can build into?
It's an interesting discussion because, you know, you have the traditionalists, and then you have the people who want to rebrand. And I've thought about this discussion, and I tend to think of myself as more of a traditionalist, but you know, the truth of the matter is I'm probably not going to play football for Nebraska. So it really doesn't matter what I think to an extent. You need to rebrand, remake your football program that's going to make it attractive to those people you want to play for you. You know, look at Alabama. You know, look at Ohio State's even rebranded themselves. Look at South Carolina. South Carolina used to be a doormat. The old tried and true powerhouses like Nebraska, Notre Dame, Michigan, Oklahoma to an extent. You know, what used to be 3 yards on a cloud of dust. You know, athletes don't accept that anymore. They want to catch the 87-yard touchdown pass. They want to hide
and look good doing it.
They want to look good doing it.
Wondering how to decorate your home for the holidays? Forget all that stress and let Marcy's Hallmark take care of it for you. Whether you want to be the spookiest house in town or just don a cute door decoration, they have something for everyone. And don't forget, Christmas is right around the corner. Come see the new 2013 tree ornaments that just arrived. Marcy's Hallmark, located at 1419 K Street in Fairbury.
We were having a conversation earlier this week, I guess it was, about Maryland and their football helmets. You know, and how they just, it looks like a distorted chessboard with weird random art on it. You know, Maryland's not that good of a team.
No.
But you're talking about them because of their helmets. I mean, it's kind of a rebrand thing, and Nebraska's still white helmet, red end, tradition, you know, 13-time, whatever, Big 8 champion.
Yeah.
We're still living on the, what was it, 95, 96, 97 national champions. Well,
what have we been since? We've been to a title game once since then and got totally demolished.
You know, Nebraska is nothing but a mediocre team at this point.
Unfortunately,
we may not even be that good, as it turns out. But you know, I guess at this point, I would tend to agree with you that we need a rebrand. We need to reinvent the football team. I do think that the entire coaching staff needs to be cleaned out. I think a big name needs to be brought in. I think the university needs to partner with an advertising agency.
Yes, very much so. Instead of trying to do, they try to do everything in-house.
Internally, yeah.
Instead of, like the article said, you know, there's plenty of good marketing firms and graphic design firms in Lincoln and Omaha that they could partner with to get some good quality stuff out there.
You know, everybody oohs and ahs still over Husker Vision. But it's really not that big of a deal anymore because everybody else is doing so much more.
If you look at that compared to any of these other big powerhouse schools that have promo videos or whatever come out.
I don't think that filling the seats every week is going to do it. If you want 4-star athletes to come in, I mean, you hate to say that college sports is a business, but college sports is a business.
It is. Today more now than ever before, I think so too.
You know, you've got to have the flash, you've got to have the glitz, and Nebraska does not have that.
And I know we're partnering with Adidas, and we have like the one game a year where we have the alternate unis that they wear, and it gets buzz going for that one game.
We did the black ones this year, and we got beat. Yeah, that was a UCLA.
And see, everybody always is like, well, you usually alternate uniforms and you got beat. See what happens when you try to break from tradition? It's like, you know, that's not why we lost.
I agree with you. At this point, I don't think just cleaning the coaching staff will do any good. I will say probably the best thing, I know I talked to you about this yesterday, the best thing I think happening to the Nebraska football program lately is that we don't have Carl Pelini on our staff.
Yeah, after what happened with him.
Bo's older brother. That really was a debacle. And then for those who don't know, Carl Pelini is the head coach at Florida Atlantic?
Yeah, was
the head coach at Florida Atlantic. He and his defensive coordinator were fired for using illegal drugs. And I'm absolutely floored over that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a plus for Nebraska, but you think Bo will be gone after this year?
I really do, especially after losing to Minnesota. And looking at the schedule going forward, we could easily not win another game.
We could easily not win another game. I think the only game that could be winnable for us would be the Northwestern game this weekend, but Northwestern has had our number for the last several years. We have not done well against Northwestern.
Yep.
I mean, we could finish the year, would that be 5-7 or 5 and...
Yeah, 5-7.
We could finish 5-7. I think we'll finish no better than 6-6, and I think at that point, well, let's even if we run the table
like we did last year.
Like we did last year.
We're going to get demolished by Ohio State in the title game.
Oh, absolutely. And then we'll still go to some mediocre minor.
Well, we'll probably play a SEC team and get steamrolled again too.
You know, we'll end up playing, I don't know, Mississippi and get killed. But yeah, Nebraska football, I think, has really fallen on some hard times.
Yes.
And it is the buzz that everybody's talking about.
In a bad way.
In a bad way, not in a good way. And it's a shame. I hate to be the butt of all the college football jokes. I listen to 590 AM ESPN radio a lot, and boy, there's a lot of people really slagging on the Huskers. And at this point, rightfully so.
Yeah, they have good reason to.
You know, I told somebody yesterday that I think that if I were a football coach, I would be the second worst football coach in the state of Nebraska at this point. Because after watching the Minnesota game, even I knew what to do.
Yeah.
And not that Minnesota's a bad team, because they're not. But this is the first time we've lost to Minnesota since 1960.
That's becoming all too of a common theme in the last few years.
You know, I'm a card-carrying member of AARP, and the last time Minnesota beat us, I wasn't even born yet. The Minnesota Vikings weren't even a franchise yet. Jeez. You know, it's been a long time, and taking nothing away from Minnesota, but taking everything away from Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
So,
exactly.
I mean, no doubt that's the sports topic for everybody this week.
Yep, that's pretty much all we have this week. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.